Hey, good afternoon. Rich Tyson here. Hey, have you noticed the number of major retailers closing their stores these days? According to recent articles from the Business Insider, many major retailers, including Payless Shoe Source, The Limited, Radio Shack, and Sports Authority, have filed for bankruptcy. My wife and I recently stopped by our local Sears store to shop for a lawn edger. When we walked in, we had to wonder if the place was open for business. Except for a few other customers milling around, there was virtually no one there. Eventually, we tracked down a sales associate and were able to identify the floor model of the edger I wanted. It should have been a quick and easy transaction, but alas, there was no stock in the warehouse of the model I wanted, and our salesman would not sell us the floor model. As we exited the store, I commented to my wife, "Hardly any sales personnel, inadequate inventory to meet demand. This store is on the verge of shutting down." Less than a week later, Sears announced that it is closing our local store, along with many of their other outlets. Sears, Macy's, JCPenney's, and others have also announced plans to close thousands of their stores in a last-ditch effort to survive. It's a trend that's amazing to us baby boomers who remember when these businesses seemed invincible. Indeed, during the years 1976-77, I worked for the Jewel Foods Company out of both Boston and Chicago, and then they were the second largest retailer in the world. They were only eclipsed by Sears. Today, Jewel has been absorbed by Albertsons, and Sears teeters around 30th largest retailer in the world and continues to fall in the rankings. The world's largest retailers have an ominous rising star named Amazon, now at number 3. And that is, over the last few years, they've gone from like 50th to 7th to 3rd. They continue to grow. Walmart and Kroger presently occupy the top 2 spots, but the winds of change have destroyed many brick and mortar retailers, and they're signaling a sea change even for these giants. As Washington Post writer Larry Downs recently put it, as traditional retailers cut staff and have dimmed the lights and left aging inventory on the shelves, web-based sellers continue to invest everything they have and more in online shopping. They have added free shipping, easy returns, same-day delivery, targeted promotions, custom reviews, and mobile interfaces, all of which have transformed online shopping into a richer experience than getting into the car and driving to the mall, looking for a parking spot and hoping that the product you want is actually in stock and that someone is available to ring you up. The internet has ushered us into a new commercial environment, one where consumers have come to expect a rich experience that is both more efficient and effective in delivering the goods and even services that were delivered under the traditional retail model. How could this happen to the mighty, the seemingly unassailable retail behemoths? Former chairman and CEO of Intel, Andy Grove, once said, "Business success contains the seeds of its own destruction." These retail superstars clearly became complacent as they experienced year after year of business and financial success. That complacency blinded them to new emerging ways of selling their products. Many saw the internet as a passing fad, as the realm of techies that would never catch on with the mainstream public. They clearly misjudged the internet's potential allure in terms of enhancing the consumer's buying experience. Was this demise inevitable? I don't think so. Following a few simple rules would have helped these large retailers form strategies that would have had them leading the internet technology wave rather than being drowned by it. And so there's a few key principles that I think you can follow. Number 1, don't be too impressed with your press clippings. I attended the Christmas party of a large successful company some years ago. Their COO stood up and announced that they would be the industry leader for decades to come. The industry still exists today, but the company doesn't. A second key principle, talk and listen to your people. The folks in the trenches are usually much more in touch with impending changes than top management. A third principle, look beyond the borders of your own industry. Retailers should have been looking at the internet and asking themselves, how might we use this to enhance the buying experience of our customers? A fourth key principle, while you can't be in the mode of continuous change, you can and should be continually improving. Always look for ways to enrich your customer's experience. And then fifth, remember Andy Grove's famous maxim, only the paranoid survive. While I don't recommend paranoia, it's wise to never take your customers or your success for granted. Hey, thanks for listening.